All right. Welcome, YouTube fans and basketball savants, to the first episode ever of Let's Talk Sports, baby. You feel me? And we're going to hop right into it. I'm your host, Hassani Knows, and we got to talk about it. We got to talk about the elephant in the room, man. Nobody wants to discuss this. Everybody, shh, don't say a word. But we're going to say it all. Man, the elephant in the room is the NBA is not the NBA you know. All the legends are seeming like they're coming to their end. It's the farewell tour for all them niggas, okay? So what I'm saying is every last one of them probably got 3 to 5 years left. And they probably not gonna win a ring. Like, you know, if you hear what I'm saying, like, so your career is done at this point. Most importantly, before all that is to tell people is we are now in the NBA of a young man's league. And in the hood, we say a young niggas league, okay? And so basically, it's like whoever got the coldest young, you know what I'm saying, young boy or young man, that sounds racist too. Whoever got the coldest young nigga with the supporting cast is now going to be within the GOAT talk. It's now their era of basketball. Like LeBron, KD, Steph Curry, they're out of it. Like, their legacy is now coming to an end. They're still hooping and at a high level, but it's not impacting championships. But anyway, let's get past the rant, bro. Because the whole reason we even doing this particular video is to say who won the NBA draft. Now, for me, let me put this phone down, bro. I'm tired of holding it. But for me, it's simple, bro. Like, who won the NBA draft will have to be between, let me see here. Look at these notes. Look over these notes, man. I'm going to have to say between the two people that I feel like, it's a lot of people put up, there's like at least 4 or 5 teams I think won the draft. But we're going to rank them in order right now, top 1 and top 2. In no particular order yet. We're going to discuss the order as we go on, you know what I'm saying? Let's do a group activity. I do some work and you do some work. You know what I'm saying? And we both benefit from the result of our two labors. Anyway, that I feel like really won the draft was the Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like, 2 crazy moves in the draft. I personally wanted Zach Edey to go over to the Pelicans because they have enough wings, you know, defenders that keep him from having to be, for them to really hunt him on the offensive side. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think that he can't move. They think he's lateral. I personally think he's more lateral. He has more lateral movement than Donovan Clingan. But, you know, I won't speak on that too much because it's not that video for that. Maybe later. Anyway, those 2 teams won the draft. I'll tell you right now, the Wolves won the draft because you already have your Twin Towers down low. You got Anthony Edwards, who's trying to put his argument into one of the best to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? He definitely, like I said, it's a young man's league now. You know what I mean? So your shooting guards that you think of is really Devin Booker and him. That's on the elite level. Right so now, producing. That Timberwolves team is looking pretty decent. Like, because we're going to get into another video where we talk about who's the the best young teams in the league, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of them. Because of Anthony Edwards alone. Like, that young talent is, you know what I'm saying, supreme. Have you seen in the Western Conference Finals? I mean, not finals, but playoff run. My bad. But yeah, getting Anthony Edwards and then pairing that with Rob Dillingham is insane. So now you have someone that you can't guard. Now you have someone else that you can't guard. Like, especially from 3. They need shooting. He got shooting. Perfect. And with him being small and barely playing defense, he's not a terrible defender. We'll have to see in the NBA because college game different, high school different, NBL and all that shit. They be doing different. However, so we got to see how he doing in the league. But they got reigning defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert, which he shouldn't be. We all know Victor definitely won that, but Victor's not going to ever not win that award again. You know, if you see what I'm saying, he had to be injured a year to not win that award. But yeah, so the good reason that Zach Edey got drafted to Memphis Grizzlies because they have Jaren Jackson Jr. who can play the perimeter, play defense on the perimeter and everything else. So you paired the insane pairing of Ja Morant and Zach Edey. So, like, you know, Ja Morant feasts in the paint. Like, you know, Zach Edey, you know, buffet, like, all you can eat in the paint. So now it's like, even if Ja Morant can't finish the layup, he can just pass it off. Like, to Edey, who's already, like, it's crazy. Like, that's why those two teams won the draft. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the Wolves lost because they didn't have more scoring. They didn't have somebody to take the load off Anthony Edwards. You know what I'm saying? Other people stepped up, but not in the, they need a secondary ball handler and playmaker who can also shoot. So, shout out to Rob Dillingham, bro. Hell of a pickup. Okay, and so the other two teams that we're going to go with for that, who else could have won the draft, like, in a sense, is I'm personally going to go Lakers. I believe who are next. You got a shooter, bro. You got a scorer that can come in and give you 15. That's what they need, bro. They need real shooting. Everybody, when it got down to the playoff game, everybody couldn't shoot. Like, we thought you were shooters. That's what we paid you to be. You know what I'm saying? So they got the shooter, they got a scorer right off the bench. I don't know how deep it's going to be. We'll see. We'll see. You also win as a Laker fan and Laker organization because you drafted Bronny. Now, I mean, people are feeling some kind of way about that, but how can you if Giannis is in the league getting checks I should be getting? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll take half his salary. You know what I'm saying? Boy, and I'll produce more than double his stats. I guarantee you that. So, yeah, the Lakers won. I got to put the Celtics up there for where they picking at. Like, bro, you got the kid from Creighton who can shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? Off ball. He's like another Sam Hauser. Like, insane. Like, that you need another one in the chest. You know what I'm saying? In the treasure chest. Then they also got Anton Watson, which has high potential. You know what I'm saying? And now they don't need him to be anything for like 3 years. You're learning from the two of the best wings in the game. Like, easy money. And then we got to put the Nuggets up there because they just got the best perimeter defender. That's what they needed. Like, they had no one to stop them from getting cooked, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, Anthony Edwards cooking them boys. Now they got somebody to stop. Ryan Dunn, tough perimeter defender. Like, probably the best defender in the draft this year. Just no real offensive game yet. Like, well, I'll say he can drive to the basket and play make a little bit. He can't shoot that good yet. Who knows if he'll be able to shoot. You need a Fred Vincent for that, which we'll get into later as well. For the same thing, we have our honorable mentions. Like, who else could have been you know what I'm saying? Who else could have won the draft? Essentially, honorable mention. I got to give it to the Pistons, the Spurs. The Spurs could have won the draft, right? But like this, just what I need people to understand, and then somebody explain to me, right? So you got the Spurs who picked Stephon Castle, which is a great pick. You get your defensive point guard. Guy that can play make is going to get the ball to Wemby easily and shut down most guards. You know what I'm saying? So that's excellent. But you could have brought the draft all the way home if you would have kept Rob Dillingham. Now you have the best shooter in the draft, perhaps, on the same team as Wemby. Defense don't really matter because you got your point guard that plays great defense. Then you got Wemby, who's going to be Defensive Player of the Year every year. And instead of that, you traded the pick to a in-conference team. The Timberwolves was already cooking. But maybe y'all just want them to get that shit out the way already. And you planning on winning championships later. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm quite confused, to be honest with you. But they was up there. Thunder win because, fuck, they got another 6'6" guard. Fuck. So, yeah, I think the Pistons, low-key, I put the Pistons up there for a few reasons. For honorable mention, as in who could have won the draft. Because that Ron Holland pick, if they bet on upside, okay, great. He could be the best player in the class. But it's not why they really did that. I mean, it's part of it, of course. But the real part is it's going to create an identity for them. Like, they don't play defense. And if Detroit Piston teams, basketball teams, will not win or be good until they play deep. That is our brand of basketball. And I say our because I am a Pistons fan. It's I shouldn't have said that on camera. Like, they're going to pull this back up. Like, bro, whose man's is this? Anyway, but the Ron Holland pick can change the whole culture and identity there. He's going to play some fucking defense and he's going to have some shit to say about it. I watched an article, I read an article, and I watched the video of him speaking to Kevin Garnett, and he channels that same type of passion. That's one of his favorite players, one of the players he looked up to coming into the league. And that's a tenacity and focus that needs to rub off on everybody on the team. Also for their second round pick, Bobby Clintman, I believe. Another thing they swinging on upside. Bro can dribble, shoot, and pass. And can be taught defense. At 6'9", 6'10", crazy pickup. Second round? We don't need you to be good for 2 years? Yes. What also makes the Ron Holland pick potentially amazing is the hiring of Fred Vinson. Shooting guru has now been promoted to assistant coach. Well deserving, says the Pelicans organization and some of their fans when you read the comments and certain things that they speak on. Talking about, like, we'll get into that later. That's not for this video once again. That's a separate Pistons segment. Back to what's at hand. So that's why I feel like they won. Those are the teams that could have won. So Wolves win because you pairing this with that, while having this and that with a few defenders. Crazy, right? Then you have Grizzlies. Oh God. I forgot. I didn't even speak on all that they got. The Memphis Grizzlies got Zach Edey. That was the prime thing about it because, like I said, Jaren Jackson can play the perimeter on defense. No problem. If you get by me, we got a 7'4" guy down here with his arms up. Like, he didn't even got to block the shot. And I think they got that because they know in the future they're going to be going against Wemby. Western Conference. Like I said, this is a young man's league. You know what I'm saying? Young man Ja Morant. Young man Victor Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? So that's another way they got that. But not only that, but they got Cam Spence, another shooter that they can deploy. They got Luke Kennard. They got what's the armadillo guy name? I hope you don't get mad at me, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, he like Mighty Mouse. Dude taller than me, but his build is so scrappy dude, it's crazy. Anyway, if it come back to me, you know, y'all know who it was from the description. Anyway, so they got that. You know what I'm saying? They got nice pieces to push forward going forward. So that's why the Grizzlies is straight. Oh, and the Timberwolves, not only did they get Rob Dillingham, they also got Terrence Shannon Jr., who I've been high on for like the last 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I don't know what it is. I think it's like his consistency with his three-point shot. That's why the NBA team's not really messing with him. I think he also could be like a head case, city guy, whatever. I don't know. Like, it got to be something because he went in the second round again, mocked for like the third year in a row. But bro can get buckets. Like, he also can shoot when he on. That's a problem. He's not always on, but you can shoot and you can score. Like, you know what I'm saying? 6'6", that's great. They also need that. The Wolves need that, bro. They need more scoring and shooting. And he's probably not going to be called on for a year or two. A lot of people said this draft was like trash, blah, blah, blah. It's just there was no, and this is speaking too soon, there is no, they say, there was not a no-brainer pick in the draft. Like, you get this guy, he's going to be an all-star, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, he's going to be, like, there wasn't one of those in the draft, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but there's a lot of great quality NBA players in this draft for sure. And proven with this, like, I was going to say, a lot of teams, if they drafted smart, they got all the opportunities they needed. You know, if you peep what I'm saying. Like, the Grizzlies needed size and shooting, got both of those. Those was in a weak draft. And they're both gonna play and get minutes, you know what I'm saying? It's just they didn't have a top tier talent in the draft. And that's not to say because if certain players develop all the way, there'll be those. And like once again, we in a young man's league. So who you going against? A guy like 3 years older than you? Okay, now it's just like who got better skills or who more athletic. Like that's how the NBA is gonna trend to. So that wraps up that video. So